everybody, it's Honest John again now. I have to admit, I don't know what is in our trade deals with other countries. I have done some research on it. I know a little bit about it, but I'm certainly no expert. I don't know very much. But I'm not making decisions about our trade deals. Donald Trump knows less than I do. Matter of fact, he knows less than a potted plant. And he is making decisions. Now, it's probably true that there are things in our trade deals that need to be renegotiated. But Donald Trump has no idea what those things are. Trump looks at what is called the trade deficit and thinks that we're being cheated. Now, a trade deficit is the value of what we import from a country versus what we export to that country. And in some cases it might be that that those countries are trying to protect their own industries by making it harder for us to import to them. And if they're doing that, we should do the same. I don't have a problem with that. But that's not always the case, and you can't tell by looking at the trade deficit. So let's take, for example, a country like Japan. Japan makes a lot of stuff that we want. You know, we want our flat screen TVs, and we want our cameras and our digital cameras, and we want our Xboxes and all that stuff. And we make a lot of things that the Japanese want, and we export a lot of stuff to them. But Japan doesn't have anywhere near the amount of people that we do. So it's only natural that they would export a lot more to us than we send over to them. That's just math. So you can't really know if a country is doing us dirt just by looking at the trade deficit. There are other factors that have to be taken into account. But Trump looks at those numbers and he figures, oh, the Japanese are up to something. And these same factors are true about a lot of other countries that we do business with. For example, there are a lot of countries in Africa where the people are really poor. They're not very good consumers. You know, so we don't export much to them, and we buy a lot of stuff from them because they have a lot of natural resources that we need. So now Trump has decided to start a trade war. And he has imposed tariffs 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum. Now, it's just a fact that we don't produce enough steel and aluminum to meet our needs. We, you know, we're building buildings and bridges and manufacturing all kinds of things that have steel and aluminum in them. And so we're not going to stop buying steel and aluminum because we can't do without it. So the only difference it's going to make is that steel and aluminum are going to become more expensive. So then any products that contain steel or aluminum are going to go up in price. See, the other country just adds the tariff onto the cost of what they're exporting to us. So they don't actually pay the tariff. It's the consumer that does. It's going to be us paying the tariff. So if you drink beer, for example, well, the price of a can of beer is going to go up a little bit. The other country, though, is not going to lose any money. That's coming out of your pocket. But those other countries, they're going to respond to us. They're going to impose tariffs of their own on some American products. But because they're not dumb, they're going to impose the tariffs on products they don't really need. For example, the European Union. They're going to put tariffs on bourbon, on Harley-Davidson motorcycles, on blue jeans that we make here in the United States. Lee and Levi's, I believe, right, are the main companies that do that. They're going to impose tariffs on them. Well, it isn't like they can't get by without Harley-Davidson motorcycles or bourbon, you know. So all that's going to happen is that the demand for these American brands is going to go down. European consumers are going to look at the price of a pair of jeans that come from the United States and a pair of jeans that comes from Germany, and they're going to say, oh, well, I'll buy those. So that means that we'll be exporting less of those things to these other countries. And since we won't be exporting as much, we won't be producing as much, so some people in those industries are going to lose their jobs. Now, Trump says he's doing this out of national security. But the truth is a little different than that. For example, there is only one smelter in the United States, that aluminum smelter, that produces the kind of aluminum used in military planes. Now, the Air Force is not going to stop, buying planes. If a plane goes down, they have to replace it. If a plane gets too old, they have to replace it. So they're going to continue to buy the planes, but those planes are now going to be more expensive. So the Air Force is going to be spending more money on airplanes. And I don't see how that helps our national security. Thanks for listening. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. And I want you to keep on doing that. Just not on YouTube. If you look down in the description box, you're going to see two new links there. One is to my Patreon page, the other one is to a site called Top Buzz. Now on Top Buzz, they're letting me monetize my video, and they're not even ads on them. So I'd like you to get in the habit of watching my videos there. Or you can go to my Patreon page, and if you want to become a supporter, that would be great. If you don't, you can still watch my videos there. But for me, YouTube is no longer worth bothering with. It's just a launching pad that I use to put my videos other places on the net. So I do want you to keep on watching my videos, but not on YouTube.